Stay with us after the break as Liverpool and Queen's Park Rangers battle it out tonight for a place at Wembley in the Milk Cup final. Rangers leading 1-0 from the first leg. It'll be a thriller, and it's live.
Tonight at 9:15, classic film action in The French Connection.
Week after, everybody's gonna get well.
89% pure junk. Best I've ever seen.
It's worth $500,000.
How many kilos?
60. The stuff is in that car.
Well, you find it. I can't.
I'm sitting on Frog 1. I got him on the shuttle at Grand Central. Now, what the hell's going on up there?
Gene Hackman is the tough cop Popeye in The French Connection. Tonight at 9:15 on Thames.
If you have permed, coloured or heat-damaged hair, your perfect conditioner is Cream Silk No. 5. Cream Silk Conditioner. Which one's your type?
After school, we played football. Dad said he could have played for United, but he married Mum instead. He said the old magic was still there, but Mum called half-time and gave us all a Milky Way. Milky Way's really ace. It's milk chocolate on the outside and all whipped up fluffy and light in the middle. Later, Dad showed us some fancy footwork. We could see he hadn't lost his touch, but we decided it was time for tea.
Milky Way, the sweets you can eat between meals without ruining your appetite.
Today brought you the news in colour. Were you ready for today?
I was ready.
I was ready.
Well, I wasn't ready.
Today, the first newspaper in colour 7 days a week. Order your Today today.
There's a classic combination at Bernie. Delicious prawn cocktail, succulent rump steak and salad, just $4.99. Prawn cocktail and steak, only at Bernie.
Those magnificent men with their mailing machines, they go up, diddly up, up, they go down, diddly down, down. Large, small, we do it all. Faxing and franking, no trouble at all. Call in the Pitney Bowes team, those magnificent men, those magnificent men, those magnificent men with their mailing machines.
You can now get an extra 10% of the engine's choice.
Introducing dinner jackets. Something completely new to put in a baked potato. Dinner jackets is the name of 4 scrumptious new fillings for potatoes. Chunky meats and vegetables in creamy smooth sauces. Chili, chicken and eastern spice, ham and sweet corn, and bacon and mushroom. For potatoes who prefer to be properly dressed, new dinner jackets from Quaker.
Cow and Gate Stage 1 and Stage 2 baby meals actually teach your baby how to eat. In fact, they're 2 short steps to grown-up food.
Paisley did it, and so too did Joe Fagan. Will Kenny Dalglish be the 3rd Liverpool manager in 4 years to lead his team out at Wembley for the Milk Cup final? Or will it be Queen's Park Rangers' Jim Smith?
Well, obviously, I hope it's Jim Smith. Kenny's only a young manager, and he's got plenty of time, and I'm getting on a little bit, so it'd be nice to get out to Wembley while we've got this great opportunity.
All will be decided tonight. The Milk Cup semi-final, 2nd leg. That's live from Anfield. Liverpool against Queen's Park Rangers. And with us here in the studio, we've got Mike Shannon, who won a winner's medal with Norwich just under a year ago, and who's currently striving to get Portsmouth out of the 2nd division. I don't think Jim Smith's been practising his Wembley walk yet, Mike, do you?
No, I hope football doesn't do that to everyone, mind. But Jim's a great character. Let's hope he does it.
Right, we brought Mike in because he's always the man for the big occasion, and that's certainly what it is tonight, a really big occasion, and all because of one goal, the one that Queen's Park Rangers scored in the first leg at Loftus Road 2 weeks ago. Well, the scorer that night was Terry Fenwick, and it certainly puts a different perspective on tonight's match. But how much an advantage will it be? Let's hear again from the bald eagle himself, the QPR manager Jim Smith.
Well, it is a very difficult place to come and get a result, but it's very rare you come here with a one-goal lead. We don't get that in the Football League, and we have that one goal, and obviously we feel confident that we can hang on to that one-goal lead to go forward.
You must have thought that you'd rather like more than one goal, I suppose?
You know, I'd like about 6, but you don't get them 6 goals against Liverpool. But I said before the last game, we wanted to win the game, and that's what we did. And I think we've got a great chance, even at 1-0, to beat Liverpool and go to Wembley.
Jim Smith, and if things do go his way at Anfield tonight, he could be well meeting up with his former club Oxford at Wembley in the Milk Cup final. They drew 2-2 at Villa Park last night against Aston Villa, and you'll be able to see the goals from that match during the half-time interval tonight. Well, Mike, as Jim Smith said, it's not often you get to go to Anfield with a goal advantage. Do you think it'll be enough for them?
Personally, I don't think it'll be enough for them. Liverpool look to be playing well, but I think that the QPR players will be very confident, and they're sure to approach it in a positive way. They're going to go there, and it's a chance in a lifetime. They're a goal up. They've got everything to play for, and it's a fascinating situation, actually. I think it'll be a very good game.
Funnily enough, one of the key players is got to be Bruce Grobbelaar, who's been getting some very unfortunate publicity this week. Where do you stand on the Grobbelaar debate, hero or villain?
Oh, I'm a Grobbelaar fan. He makes a lot of mistakes, but the great thing about him, he's always positive, you know. And really, goalkeepers, I mean, they're in a terrible situation.
I mean, that was the other side of Grobbelaar. That was a magnificent save.
That's right. I mean, that was a great save. But we know he's capable of that, and at least he makes this. He makes his mind up. He's positive, and he makes decisions.
And yet,
when he makes ricks like this, I mean, he should have threw his cap on that, shouldn't he?
Oh, it's terrible, really, wasn't it? From a goalkeeper's point of view.
And it's wriggled under him. The first thing he's got to do is get his body behind it. He didn't do it, and it's gone in, so everyone hates him. But for me, he's a character, he's positive, and he's great for the team. He's great for the game. I love him. I think he's great.
OK, well, we'll see what happens. The kick-off very shortly. Don't forget, it's an important night in the European Cup and in the FA Cup as well, and we'll be keeping you in touch with those matches throughout the course of tonight's programme. Other things to think about, but our priority is the Milk Cup semi-final second leg, live from Anfield, Liverpool against Queen's Park Rangers, and it follows the break.
Shattering sound quality from Amstrad. With laser tracking compact disc, plus belt drive record deck, 3-band tuner, graphic equalizer, 40 watts of total music power, and twin cassettes for continuous play. MIDI 299 pounds, tower 349 pounds. From Amstrad dealers now.
You're 16, leaving school. Who wants to train you for a job?
Excuse me, young man. Oi, give us a hand. Me?
Over 100,000 employers. That's who.
Oi, over here. Me?
Fact is, now everyone who leaves school at 16 can have 2 years proper training for a skill. And at the end of 2 years, there's a recognised certificate that makes your job prospects a lot better. So all that talent need never go to waste again. YTS Training for Skills. Now 16 and 17-year-old school leavers can earn while they learn.
Not bad, Nipper. Come here. Who, me?
And that includes you, Twinkle Toes.
Where shall we go tomorrow? Let's go to a concert at the Royal Festival Hall. The last tube doesn't leave Waterloo until after midnight.
so you can get right here without being left here.
Well, there's the scene at Anfield. The teams are out on the pitch. Liverpool against Queen's Park Rangers. Live coverage of the Milk Cup semi-final second leg. Wembley, just 90 minutes away. Your commentators at Anfield, Ian St John and Brian Moore.
Well, thank you, Elton. Good evening to you all from Anfield. Superb conditions here. Let's first of all take a check on the two sides. So Liverpool, in fact, field an unchanged team for the third successive game. There had been talk that the striker Paul Walsh might return after injury, but he's not quite ready yet. On the other hand, knocks to Craig Johnston and to Steve McMahon have cleared up. Meanwhile, Queen's Park Rangers, well, they've got three men back tonight. Michael Robinson, formerly a Liverpool player, of course, and Gary Bannister, who will both play up front. They both return after injury. And midfielder Robbie James, who returns after suspension. It means that there's no place for John Byrne, and Wayne Faraday is the Rangers sub. The referee tonight is David Hutchinson from Harrogate in Yorkshire. It's a chill evening, and it's an important evening for this man, Bruce Grobbelaar. As we've already said tonight, rarely, I suppose, as a goalkeeper being under such scrutiny, is moments of high embarrassment, the talk of football, but people in the game, I think, will reinforce the view that he is still a fine keeper. Michael Robinson, formerly of Liverpool, what a great incentive for him tonight to make that final thrust through to Wembley. He's back after missing 4 games with a broken cheekbone. A quick word from Ian St John with me. How do you think Liverpool, a goal down, will approach this now?
Well, I think they've got to get a goal, Brian, that's for sure, which sets the game up lovely, doesn't it? And I think tonight we can see a cracking match.
Well, it's Liverpool then. Who will kick off? In the all dark strip of red, attacking the goal to our right. It's Lawrenson. Rangers with an appalling away record in the league. They've lost their last 3 league games, but they have done well in the Milk Cup. They've won at Hull, which can always be awkward. They've won at Watford and they've won at Chelsea. Steve McMahon. And manager Jim Smith hoping that that Milk Cup away form will follow them now to the biggest test of all. It certainly is, as Ian says, set up for a tremendous cup tie here tonight. It's Martin Allen with the header. In goes Hansen for Liverpool. MacDonald playing it forward. Little Gary Bannister. It's so easy to tell Liverpool, of course, with all their experience, Ian, to be patient and wait for that breakthrough to come. But human nature being what it is, they'll go striving, won't they?
Well, I think so, and the crowd obviously, you know, always at home, they always want you to attack, and being a goal down, they want to get back in level terms as quickly as possible.
Sammy Lee crossing it in, Wicks battling with Rush, Fillery trying to get it through to Martin Allen, but Rush getting possession again and filling the referee, and it'll be a free kick to Liverpool. David Hutchinson used to be a police officer, is retired from that and now works for the National Association of Boys Clubs. Well, it's Jan Molby with the free kick for Liverpool, floated onto the far side where Whelan had come up, but nobody made a contact. Molby in the midfield, such an important character now in this Liverpool setup.
Well, as you know, the last time we had a game, the big cup tie at Chelsea in the FA Cup, Brian, that Molby played as a sweeper, and I was rather critical of Liverpool's performance that day, and I think quite rightly so. But since then, you know, he's pushed Molby into a midfield role, and that's a position the crowd want to see him play because he's a big favourite here. He's got a great shot, and he can get goals as well.
Robertson battling on the far side. It's Hansen and Beglin, and another throw to Liverpool. Again towards Lawrenson, but it was Robbie James doing a good piece of defensive work there for Queen's Park Rangers. Now McMahon. That's an interesting ball, but I don't think Lawrenson will get there. And it'll be a throw to Queen's Park Rangers. Molby. Beglin. And the referee stopping the game there for a moment and giving Liverpool a free kick. Did you see what that was for? It was,
well, I think Fenwick went in just a little bit late after Molby had played the ball there, Brian.
Fenwick, the Rangers captain. Lawrenson with the free kick. Cut out quite easily by Martin Allen. Whose uncle, of course, Les Allen, played when Rangers won the, as it was then, the Football League Cup back in 1967. 19 years ago this week, when Rangers, a third division side, beat West Bromwich Albion at Wembley. Well, will history repeat itself here at Anfield tonight, and Rangers score another fine victory? At the moment, remember, leading 1-0 from that first leg. A juddering challenge there by Wicks. Lawrenson. Hanson. Rush. And James just about getting to the ball and stopping the progress of Mark Lawrenson. Craig Johnston. Lawrenson. And that should be Barron's ball. It is. Liverpool, who've beaten Oldham and Brighton, Manchester United and Ipswich on the way here. Sammy Lee in again for Lawrenson, and Liverpool beginning to look in menacing form as it comes to McMahon, and they all stop for a moment, but not Craig Johnston, and it called for a good cross, but in no way did it get it, particularly with Rush and Whelan coming in on the far post. And certainly Craig Johnston was more alive to that situation than anybody in the Rangers defence, and then really lost what could have been quite a good opening for Liverpool. Goal kick to Rangers. By Fenwick, and Fenwick again playing in the midfield now with Queen's Park Rangers. Plays as a centre-back with England, of course, but he gives Rangers that little bit of bite in the midfield that has been lacking, they say, since the injury, a long-term injury to Gary Waddock. Rush, very quick to spot an opening, to set up Whelan down the far side, and Beglin too, and it'll come to McMahon. Now can Sammy Lee get to that one? Wicks spotted that danger quickly enough, and it's a throw to Liverpool. And there's something like 7 minutes gone. Rangers have hardly been in the Liverpool half. McMahon again, and another goal kick.
Well, Queen's Park Rangers, Brian, will have to start thinking about picking men up in the middle of the park, because McMahon there is having a good season for Liverpool, and as we saw in the game on Sunday, you know, he's liable to have a shot as he did there, as Molby is as well, and Whelan. So the Queen's Park Rangers boys have got to be very careful. Don't let Liverpool get the ball 30 yards from goal, because the midfielders can hit it.
It's Warren Neal, but he's hit it straight at Molby. Wicks getting it away. Now McMahon. Can Warren Neal get in there before Rush? He can, and it's a useful piece of defensive work by the young right back. Another free kick to Liverpool. Well, yesterday the Rangers players were saying it's going to be like Custer's last stand at Anfield, and that's the way it's beginning to develop as Liverpool continue to pour forward. Molby behind this free kick, and Beglin. Mulvey striking it, curling it, and Aaron spotting it quickly enough to get across. Peglin running over the ball. Ian?
Well, he's always liable to do it, Brian, from any distance. He scored some marvellous goals this year from free kicks, and if he gets him a little bit nearer than that, the goalkeeper is certainly going to have problems.
Gillespie. Lawrenson. Now can Robinson get there? He's got the pace, and he was held back by Gillespie for a moment, trying to play the ball into Bannister, and for a moment Rangers looked as though they might find a way through. Spearheaded by the former Liverpool man, Michael Robinson.
Well, he's telling the linesman he was held back. In fact, the linesman did put his flag up, but the referee allowed play to go on.
Well, that seems to have given Rangers a little bit of heart, but it's a throw to Liverpool. There's no doubt that Robinson was held back. Now it's McMahon. And Warren Neal being chased by Rush. And Rush penalised. It'll be a Rangers free kick. Fantastic record Liverpool have got in this Milk Cup in recent years, winning it in 81, 82, 83 and 84. And one step away from contesting the final again in 86. Rush. Gillespie. Sammy Lee. Mulvey, but that came to James. Sets Robinson on his way again, clashing with Hansen. And a free kick given to QPR. The first chance really they've had for their defence to draw breath. Consider something approaching the Liverpool penalty area. It'll be Mike Fillery with it, number 11. McDonald's up on the far side, the big central defender. Wicks battling with Johnston. Allen's got to do a bit of battling as well, but Johnston's on his way, but the whistle, I think, will bring them back. And the Liverpool fans riled by that decision from referee Hutchinson, feeling that an advantage should have been played, because Johnston certainly was making great strides down that left flank. Rush felled, free kick this time and no mistake. In fact, for a moment he was feeling for a book. Possibility of booking Warren Neal, but it didn't come to it. It'll be a free kick for Liverpool. Just about 11 minutes gone, no score in this second leg at Anfield. Liverpool 0, Rangers 0. Rangers leading 1-0 from the first leg. Lawrenson with the header, and Rangers at full stretch to get it away. Only Hansen is back, pumping it forward yet again. Craig Johnston. It's a night that surely is going to test the resilience of this Rangers defence. People like Steve Wicks and the other big blonde alongside him, Alan McDonald.
Actually, they're a commentator's nightmare, Brian, aren't they? There are a couple of lookalikes.
Just hope they don't advance in the last moments at the far post and both go diving in for the same header, Ian. I might need your help. At the moment, it's Hansen. And here's Wicks again. Sammy Lee, nice little flip there for Craig Johnston, and the flag was up for an offside. The ground Craig Johnston covers, so I noticed it on Sunday at Tottenham, and again here already tonight. He really does stimulate others around him, I would think.
Well, he's having a terrific season, Craig, and I like to see him playing in the position he's playing tonight, up front, along with Ian Rush. And I think it suits him better, Brian, that he's got the whole of the pitch to make his runs in.
McMahon, challenged there by Fillery, but given away, and Molby now for Liverpool. Fillery trying to get it back. Jim Beglin. And it's Rush who's doing the challenging back. Free kick to Queen's Park Rangers. Cleared by Lawrenson. Rush. Whelan finding Molby. Oh, what a good ball there. As Johnston takes it up, can McDonald stop him? Yes, he can. Bannister, nimble little player. But Beglin would not be resisted there, and he finds Lawrenson. Time Warren Neal cutting it out, and already there's drama, we understand, down at the West Ham Manchester United game, where Brian Robson has been taken off with a suspected dislocated shoulder after only 3 minutes. Here it's still 0-0 in this second leg of the Milk Cup semi-final. Remember, Rangers leading 1-0 from the first leg. So it's a night when Liverpool have to score. Lawrenson. Goes McDonald, diving in low, but he's only given it to McMahon, who's got Whelan up and Rush up, and an offside. Comes for Jim Beglin. It's Alan McDonald. Neal. Now Molby for Liverpool. Free kick. Well, the Liverpool bench incensed and on their feet, and a booking for the big Irishman.
You know what? It's always a dodgy one, that. I don't think there was an awful lot in that. You know, Big Jan just tried to hurdle McDonald as he came in to slide tackle him. And I think the players realise these things happen, Brian. It's only the referee that seems to worry about it.
Well, McDonald's in the book, and Rangers face some more defending as Beglin chips that one in. James got it away. Here's Bannister. Cut out again by Hansen. Fillery. Flag is up, offside.
Well, the Rangers certainly seem to have the idea, Brian, that if they do get a chance to break, you know, players coming from the back might catch Liverpool square.
Noticeable that Ian Dawes was the furthest man forward there.
That's right.
The left back. At the moment, it's McMahon for Liverpool. Whelan on the far side. Rush. Molby. And played back by Dawes to goalkeeper Paul Barron. Ian Dawes, who was well to the front in that last Rangers attack. Warren Neal, Fillery. Neal again, a little touch there for Allen, but he's lost it. And then Fenwick wins it back again. Bannister, Fillery. Fenwick losing at that time. Rush, and here's Whelan. He's got Sammy Lee in space on the right. Whelan, Johnston and Rush are waiting in the middle, and here's McMahon, and now Lawrenson. Molby. Beglin. Lawrenson has stayed up there. And it was Dawes who got the important clearance there for Queen's Park Rangers. And Rangers have held out for 17 minutes. Still no score. Lee. Gillespie. Holby. He'll be looking forward to getting to Wembley if Liverpool make it. He's played there once before in 1983 when Denmark came in the European Championship, but he only came on for the last 4 minutes of the game as a substitute. Jan Molby. News from another cup tie. Danny Wallace has put Southampton ahead at Millwall. Gillespie for Liverpool. McMahon. Beglin. And McDonald. He's a big defender who's used to defending. He's done some sterling work for Northern Ireland this season, particularly in Romania and at Wembley. And a similar battle here tonight for him against Liverpool. Of course, all the time that Liverpool are pushing forwards, this fella's having very little to do, Bruce Grobbelaar. Probably on a night when he would like a little bit of activity to prove that he can still keep goal. Well, a handball and a penalty given. Rangers incensed by that. He's given a handball against Ian Dawes. Ian St John.
Well, a very innocuous. In fact, he was outside the penalty area. If it did hit his arm, he was outside the penalty area.
He was outside the penalty area, and Rangers incensed by that decision, which I'm bound to say looks very much as though it's gone against them. Let's look at that again. Was it inside the box or was it outside the box? Well, there you have it.
The box.
But the referee has given a penalty and he's booking Terry Finnick. No, he's booked Steve Ricks in point of fact. Well, that's a moment of high drama there. And Jan Molby with the spot kick for Liverpool. Saved by Barron, superbly. Well, Molby has scored 15 goals this season, 6 of them from the penalty spot, but not that time. And justice in the end was done.
Well, I must agree with you, Brian. Justice was certainly done in that instance.
Now, what effect is that going to have on Liverpool, Ian, and what effect will it have on Rangers?
Well, it's got to give Rangers a boost, that's for sure, because they were looking at a 1-1, but I mean, I think Liverpool have got the resilience to keep battling. Dawes. Lee. Wicks is up. Lawrenson. Flick on, and McDonald got that one away. It's certainly all hands to the pump still in that Queen's Park Rangers defence. And a shot on the turn there by Rush again. Well stopped by Barron. Actually, there was a suspicion of another penalty there, wasn't there?
With McDonald.
Pulled his left arm away.
Well, this is really warming up now. Here's Robinson for Queen's Park Rangers. Bannister. And Gillespie gets it back to Grobbelaar. I think all Bruce has had to do is take a couple of back passes so far. Now Gillespie, as Liverpool are forward again, trying to put Rush clear. At that time, McDonald got the better of him. And the ball out of play again. And good news in the European Cup from Aberdeen. Willie Miller has put Aberdeen 1-0 into the lead against Gothenburg, and that dislocated shoulder of Brian Robson that I told you a moment or two ago at West Ham, the Manchester United captain, has been confirmed as a dislocated shoulder. Certainly Brian Robson's having none of the luck with injuries here.
I just can't believe it, you know. I mean, the boy is so unlucky. I mean, it's dreadful that he's had a season like this, isn't it, leading up to the World Cup.
So the hero of the moment for Queen's Park Rangers, Paul Barron, with the goal kick. Bannister. And here at Liverpool again. Mulvey seeking to atone for that mistake. No foul there. In fact, some very good defending by Fenwick. And then a free kick to Queen's Park Rangers. They lost their last 3 league games away from home, and their manager Jim Smith was saying they wasn't short of a disgrace, those performances, but there's a lot more character about Rangers here tonight. Fenwick and Robinson just caught offside. Maybe it was Bannister more in the central position.
You were saying, Brian, that you've been talking to Jim Smith before the game, and he said he wasn't going to come here and defend, and I mean that's all they've had to do, but I think it's only because Liverpool have had so much of the ball, isn't it?
That's right. He felt that it was dangerous to sit back for 90 minutes on a 1-goal lead at Anfield. But they're being forced to do it now as Rush takes it up this time, and a corner to Liverpool. They're first of the game for all the pressure that they've had with 25 minutes gone. Sammy Lee with it. Little flick on, claiming a handball again, but they haven't got one this time, and Warren Neal will make the clearance for Rangers. That was certainly a handball by Beglin, and a deliberate one as well, and the referee making tracks towards him. Just a word of warning, and a free kick to Rangers. Bench, anxious for that opening goal. The situation here tonight is that if it's level on aggregate, after 90 minutes we go into extra time, and if it's level on aggregate after that, we then have a third game. There's no penalties or anything like that tonight. Allen with the throw to Michael Robinson. Buffeted from behind by Beglin, so it'll be a free kick to Rangers. Eight is Robbie James. 7 is Michael Robinson. It's Robinson, but he didn't make a contact with the header. Cheekbone high up above his, or just beside his eye, and missed 4 games. Johnston. Mulvey. McMahon. Beglin was waiting to get in. McMahon spraying it wide again, this time to Ronnie Whelan. And another corner. Whelan with it. Sammy Lee. Steve McMahon into the Kop. We talk about Mulby in the midfield, but McMahon here is having quite an influence. He's spraying some good balls down both flanks, Ian.
Oh yes, I mean he's a big influence in the team when he's playing. Good player, Steve McMahon. I think he was a good buy for Liverpool because he's a good tackler as well. You know, he can fight a bit.
Handball, free kick. It's becoming a really engrossing cup tie now. Just wondering how long Rangers can hold on. 29 minutes gone and still Liverpool can't find the breakthrough. If you've just joined us, they've also missed a penalty when Barron saved Mulby's penalty shot. More news from Upton Park, where Manchester United have already lost their captain. Frank McAvenny has put West Ham into the lead. Hillary, Robbie James, and an offside flag up against Bannister. He's their top scorer with 12 goals, Bannister. Now Lawrenson. Rush. Hicks close at hand again, and eventually looks like winning that battle. Here's Hansen. Frederick. Back to Barron. Half an hour gone and still 0-0 here. Rangers recently haven't got such a bad record against Liverpool either. They've, of course, won that first leg of the Milk Cup. They've beaten them in the league at Loftus Road this season. And last season they came here and drew 1-1. Of course, that result would be enough tonight to put Rangers into a Wembley final again. Long throw by Michael Robinson. Wicks had gone up for it. Bannister tried to get it in on the volley. And there's a few problems there until Lawrenson sorts some of them out. And now Mulby can sort out the rest. Again, James in quickly, but sadly for Rangers it falls for Rush. And now for Lawrenson. And Robbie James in again quickly. Free kick given. Sammy Lee now. Johnston knocking it on. So too did Rush. Whelan couldn't get in. Mulby might. Beglin. Still Beglin. Whelan. And wide again. From Vicarage Road, First Division Watford leading Bury by 1-0. John Barnes the scorer for Watford. Do you think there's the first bit of anxiety yet on that bench?
Well, I think anxiety can only grow as the minutes tick away, Brian. You're a goal down in a semi-final and you know, the tension will begin to tell. And I must say that I think Rangers have weathered a very hectic half an hour, haven't they? And I think they've done it well because they've restricted Liverpool to shots from well outside the box, and they've managed to get their foot in and block and head balls away. I think they've done very well.
Martin Allen. Had to defend so much that Allen and James haven't had any chance at all to fly down the flanks to give support to the front men. They both like to do that, and they're both good crosses of the ball, what's more. There's Robbie James again, looking to get Robinson away.
you know, when Kenny Dalglish was standing up before shouting, he was moving Sammy Lee into the middle of the field, which I find quite a strange move. Sammy's found himself back out in the wing again, but he had moved into the centre forward position.
Fillery. James. Offside again. So Sammy Lee has gone virtually up front with Ian Rush. Craig Johnson away wide on the right, but at the moment it's Rush. Eglin. Olby. Just too high for James. Craig Johnston with his cross, and Neil getting that one away well for QPR, and Fillery wrestled to the ground by Molby. A free kick to QPR. England players seem to be in the wars tonight. Brian Robson with a dislocated shoulder at West Ham, and we hear in the Millwall-Southampton game that Mark Wright has been taken off with concussion. The last we heard of that one, Southampton leading 1-0 with a Danny Wallace goal. Here it's still 0-0 as we come to the last 10 minutes of the first half. Rangers still holding on and getting a throw on the far side. Allen, it's Gillespie and Hansen who will soak it up and get it back to Bruce Grobbelaar. Beglin, Mulvey, and now McMahon, and a goal kick. What do you think the point is of putting Sammy Lee into that central attacking position?
Well, I think maybe they feel that Craig Johnson could cause a bit of trouble down the right-hand side with his pace. And if he can do that, obviously it would be a good move. But I think Sammy will go in the Guinness Book of Records as the world's smallest striker.
Robinson. Well, he's outpaced Hansen. Can he find the right cross? Well, Gillespie was there, calm and assured for Liverpool, and finds McMahon. But they're really fighting hard, Rangers, and at the moment you have to hand it to the way they've shown all the character and guts in defence. In goes Warren Neal. In fact, at times they're so desperate at the back that they can't be terribly constructive through the midfield and coming forward, but at the moment they are still holding Liverpool off and still holding on to their 1-goal lead from the first leg. Lee with the throw for Liverpool. Now what's that, a corner? Craig Johnston with it. Molby at the near post. Gillespie in there as well at 6'2", could be an influence. But in fact, in the end, it was Lawrenson's header, and it's another goal kick for Queen's Park Rangers. To Rush. The flag was up for offside. It'll be a free kick. So 7 minutes to half time here tonight. It's Liverpool hanging 1-0 over the two legs. Dawes. Bannister. Dawes. Fillory. Bannister again, but need somebody to hold on to the ball there and keep that little movement going. MacDonald versus Rush, and it was Rush who won it. Lee, who couldn't get a contact, and Wicks, who thought about a back pass, changed his mind. And it's now with Johnston. A deep one towards Whelan on the far side. Neil gets it away as far as Fillory. And then Martin Allen, unfortunately for Rangers, gives it to Beglin. And a free kick. The foul by Fenwick. And as we come towards the last 5 minutes of the first half, Liverpool again look menacing. Now, Beglin chipping this one towards Craig Johnston, who reacted first, but it's Rangers who get it away. McMahon. And MacDonald to where it's safe. Now McMahon. And another goal kick. I have to say also, Ian, for all the pressure that Liverpool have had, and apart from the penalty, they really haven't made clear-cut chances.
Well, I was thinking that, Paul Barron really hasn't had an awful lot to do, has he? I think one or two little anxious moments, but and apart from the penalty save, not an awful lot really on target for Liverpool tonight. And as I say, you've got to give credit to the men in front of them. I think they're all doing a great job there.
And the intriguing question is, how much longer can they continue to do it? 5 minutes now to half-time. 0-0 here tonight. Robinson trying to get away, and has beaten Gillespie. And that was Whelan almost nonchalantly getting that one away, but Rangers in possession again, and now McMahon for Liverpool. Whelan. Gillespie. There's Beglin. Bannister back there helping out. Whelan again, trying to get it through to Lee, and now Fenwick to make the clearance for Rangers. Bannister. Running into trouble. His defenders won't thank him for that, because it means more pressure on them straight away again as Ian Rush takes it up. Stopped well that time by MacDonald. And again by MacDonald. Here's James. Forcing it through to Robinson. And now for Bannister. It could open up here for Queen's Park Rangers. Robinson's got the pace, but has he also got the shots? No, and Grobbelaar's there. Great bit of pace there by Robinson. Ian St John.
He's doing terrific tonight, Michael. He's ploughing a lone furrow up front there, and he's doing some great work, and really deserves a little bit more help than he's getting from Bannister alongside him tonight. When Michael made that run, Bannister never got in there, even if the ball had come back.
Fenwick. Dawes.
You see, in a job like tonight where you're hanging on to a one goal, it's very important that the front men get a hold of the ball and keep a hold of it, as long as they can. And Michael Robinson's doing that, but Gary Bannister's not really been in it.
Well, here's Beglin for Liverpool. James. Sammy Lee. And Fenwick gets it away. News from Kenilworth Road that Luton have gone a goal up against Arsenal. Their big defender Steve Foster the scorer. Meanwhile, McMahon all the way through now. No doubt about that one. From half-time, and all the pressure in the end has told. McMahon with a brilliant break from the midfield, kept his head superbly and gave Barron no chance at all. Ian St. John.
Well, what a superb ball by Jan Molby there. A beautiful ball. I think Ian Rice looked at one stage maybe to be offside, but terrific work by McMahon. Lovely run from midfield and a tremendous finish.
So now it's all tied up at 1-1 on aggregate. Liverpool leading by a goal to nil here on the night. Rush. And what a battle it's going to be now for those Rangers defenders, as if it hasn't been bad enough all night. Now it's Hansen, the captain. Holby. He set up the ball for McMahon and now finds Lawrenson. Johnston. Hillary did well there. James helped him out. Can Bannister do likewise? Now it's with Fenwick and two Rangers on the far side. Martin Allen and Hansen trying to get across there and succeeds and gets the ball back to Grobbelaar. As Hansen goes down, and there'll be a booking now for Martin Allen. Well, the referee sorting that one out. As Allen was hustling into this ball here.
Really, you've got to say that the forward was in the wrong there, Brian, because, I mean, he's got no chance of getting the ball. It's you know, he's going back to the goalkeeper and he just launched himself with both feet.
So Kenny Dalglish incensed. The third Rangers name to go in the book tonight, and Hansen requiring treatment on the far side. We're now playing time added on at the end of the first half. I think you were quite relieved to see that Liverpool goal go in, weren't you, Ian?
Well, there's a lot of people in this ground relieved to see it good, and I thought it was a terrific goal when it did arrive. A marvellous goal created by the two midfield players. Molby set it up, and great strike by McMahon.
Well, that's what gave Martin Allen the booking as the half-time whistle goes, and Liverpool leading 1-0 on the night through this man, Steve McMahon. But 1-1 on aggregate after that goal by Terry Fenwick in the first leg at Loftus Road. We'll be back, of course, for the second half live, and now let's go back to the studio with Elton Worsby.
Well, patience has always been one of Liverpool's strongest virtues. They got the important first half goal. The aggregate score, as Brian said, now 1-1. Well, we'll be hearing Mike Shannon's views on that first half shortly. We'll have the other half-time scores, those that are in. There are one or two 7:45 kickoffs tonight. And there's action from last night's Milk Cup semi-final first leg game between Aston Villa and Oxford United. There's plenty to come. Don't go away.
No saccharin, no bitter aftertaste. Canderel, the revolutionary sweetener that tastes as good as sugar.
Deep in his heart, Simon is essentially a fun person, which is why, of all the Findus chefs, he was put in charge of French bread pizzas. Who else could give chili beef, sweet corn and peppers such pep? Who else has a way with Italian-style sausage? Findus French bread pizzas leave a crunch as loud as Simon's shirt, but toppings that are infinitely more tasteful. It takes a Findus chef to make the finest food frozen.
You can now get an extra 10% of the engine's choice.
If NEC's new thinking facsimile can phone documents in a matter of seconds, round the world or round the corner, at any time of night or day, to up to 100 different addresses, and redial if engaged, automatically adjust its own image quality for halftone or typescript with foolproof simplicity. What could one do for your business? Dial 01200 0200 now for details of the Nifax Thinking Facsimile range from NEC.
When you're Britain's favourite car, it's inevitable that you'll attract a few challengers. A fact that's not escaped the Ford Escort. So to make sure it stays ahead of the game in 1986, it's introducing a few changes. The dashboard and interior have been completely transformed. There's a new sound system. The doors have Chubb high security locks. The new wheels have optional anti-lock brakes, specially developed for front-wheel drive cars. There are new lights, new bumpers. And under the bonnet, there's another first. A new 1.4-litre lean-burn engine, which gives a class-beating combination of performance and economy. Well, that seems to have done the trick. So there it is, your new Ford Escort. Well, you don't stay ahead by standing still.
There's a new beer around that's so light, anything else seems just heavy. It's called Miller Lite, the new Pilsner from America. It has a cleaner taste because more of the sugar's been turned to alcohol and goes down so smooth. Anything else seems just heavy.
The taste is keen, it's Miller Lite. It goes down clean, it's Miller Lite. It's my baby, it's Miller Lite. It ain't heavy, it's Miller Lite.
Today brought you the news in colour. Were you ready for today?
I was ready.
I was ready.
Well, I wasn't ready.
Today, the first newspaper in colour 7 days a week. Order your Today today.
Thank you very much, it fits just fine. Thank you very much.
Cadbury's Roses, the sweetest way to say
Thank you very, very, very much.
Welcome back. The half-time score at Anfield is Liverpool 1, Queen's Park Rangers 0. So that means the aggregate score is 1-1. And Mike, it's been a right old first half, hasn't it? Very lively, in fact.
It's been a good game. I think that early on QPR looked very nervous and they were slow to start. And when the penalty come, like it was very unfortunate. But after the penalty, I thought they settled down and I thought they were right comfortable with typical Liverpool come back and smacked them with a cracking goal.
What did you make of that penalty incident?
Well, I mean, for me, it was never a penalty. As we see, it's been knocked in here, and I think it's Johnson heads it, isn't it? And the lad's definitely outside the box. I think that the crowd roared handball, and straight away the referee pointed to the spot. I know what it's like at Anfield. You tend to get decisions like that go against you. But justice was done. Keeper's made a good save. It wasn't that particularly good penalty, but it was a good save. And like I say, they settled down then, and I thought, oh, go on, lads. You know, I mean, I thought that the underdogs, you know, were getting on top and might be all right. But
it was around about that time as well that you were talking about it throughout the first half, that Liverpool moved Craig Johnston out wide, which you were urging them to do.
That's right. Ian St John said that they thought he was a better player up front, but I think Johnston, when he's wide and going by people, it causes all sorts of problems. And just then, Kenny Dalglish jumped up and told him to do the same. But so they moved him out wide.
And it was getting very frustrating at that point because
that's right.
You know, we had a blanket defence. So they've experienced that time and time again at Anfield.
I think with Ian Rush playing up front on his own, they missed the little lad Walsh that plays up front, and consequently they're not getting a lot in the box.
And when that happens, I mean, you often find that the goal does come from midfield, which was certainly the case. Let's have a look at that again, because it was a lovely combination between Molby and McMahon, wasn't it?
That's right. It's a great ball knocked through, and the referee gave a bad decision with the penalty, but a great one with this, because it looked as if Ian Rush was offside, but he's allowed the advantage because he wasn't interfering with play. And he's taken it on here, and it was a great finish. I mean, he's had bags of time, mind, picked his spot and slotted it in. Great goal. But that's a typical Liverpool goal. And Jan Molby must be over the moon. He's turned it round again.
All right. Well, that made the score 1-1 at half-time, the aggregate score, that is. And whoever wins tonight will meet either Aston Villa or Oxford at Wembley. Well, those two meet again in a week's time. And their first leg match at Villa Park had to be put back 3 times because of the weather. But they eventually got it together last night. The commentator, Peter Brackley.
Now here's Hibbert for Oxford. Looking to send Houghton away. Glover had covered his run, but he's lost him now. Aldridge lurking in the middle. Oh, sweetly done. Again, Bradley will look for the long one here, with Elliott the target on the 6-yard area. And Oxford have got some big fellas at the back. Burt for the shot. Oh, yes! Walters with the corner. Evans was up there. A scramble. And has the goal been given? It has. The goal's been given. Steinrock was in there. Aldridge on the break for Oxford. Away from Evans. It's a penalty. What drama here. Alan Evans, the defender. And that, says the referee, is a penalty. 2-2.
Yes, 2-2, and the next leg at the Manor Ground in a week's time. Plenty of football tonight. Let's have a look at the half-time scores. That's in the European Cup. Aberdeen 1, Gothenburg 0, an important away goal then for Gothenburg. The FA Cup 5th round, Watford 1, John Barnes, Bury 0. West Ham 1, Frank McAvenny with his 21st goal of the season, Manchester United 0. The FA Cup 5th round replays, Millwall 0, Southampton 1, Danny Wallace. And I've heard that Sheffield Wednesday have in fact taken the lead against Derby County, so that should be Sheffield Wednesday 1, Derby 0. And the second replay between Luton and Arsenal, that's the latest score. Steve Foster has put Luton in front. Well, very shortly, it's back to Anfield for the second half of tonight's semi-final. That's after the break.
Shattering sound quality from Amstrad, complete with compact disc. At Amstrad dealers now.
You're not helpless. You can do something. If you fit proper locks, thieves will think twice. They'll keep away if they know you're watching out for them. You can prevent crime. Don't let them get away with it.
Put on your lights, legs, baby, 'cause you're going out tonight. All day and night, legs, baby, working hard, such a pretty sight. You know, light legs on you, baby, late legs still gonna feel alright.
Light legs. Sheer support tights for hard-working legs. Do you sometimes wish you could take off together, just the two of you? Then here's a car we think you'll enjoy. The new Ford Orion, a stylish tourer that's right up to date. In this new Orion gear, you'll find everything you need at your fingertips, including a stereo that can literally surround you with sound. If you want performance with economy, there's our new 1.4-litre lean burn engine. And you can order most Orions with the option of mechanical anti-lock brakes, designed to help you steer out of trouble. The new Ford Orion.
It's a car with a touch of class.
Start playing the £50,000 London Standard London game. Check your game card each day against the special numbers printed in the London Standard. Hundreds of prizes must be won, including thousands in Selfridges vouchers and thousands in instant cash. Your game card could be the big winner. Don't miss out. Check it every day.
Standard, standard. Hi ho, hi ho, hi ho, hi ho, hi ho, hi ho. It's off to work we go. Hi ho, hi ho, hi ho.
By providing millions of pounds for business and industry, NatWest is helping to create jobs. So now thousands more people are working. NatWest, the Action Bank.
Welcome back to Anfield for the second half of this Milk Cup semi-final, second leg. If you've just joined us, Liverpool leading tonight 1-0 with a goal by Steve McMahon, 1-1 on aggregate. Ian St John, bearing in mind that Rangers have had to defend for the whole 45 minutes, you can't in fact see them scoring, but do you think they are capable of holding on?
Well, they almost made it in the first half, Brian, you know, just losing towards half-time. And I mean, it's very possible. Anything's possible in football. And in fact, you're saying that they don't look like scoring. I mean, it's always possible for an away side to break away and score. But I would think they're going to be put through the mincer again this half.
Well, Alan Hansen, who was injured just before half-time, is on the field and okay. We gather there's no damage whatsoever. Rangers then in the hoop shirts, attacking the goal now to our right. Here's Grobbelaar. Brucey is our king. Sang the cop as he came out for the second half. There's MacDonald with a header. Bowlby. Bannister. Robinson. And Bannister is away, but he's offside. Slightly disappointing first half, Gary Bannister, but he's the top scorer with 12. Used to be with Sheffield Wednesday and Coventry. A nimble little player, and he can be a dangerous one too. At the moment, the danger's coming all from Liverpool. It's McMahon, the scorer of that first important goal, finds Beglin. Rush. Whelan. Store's coming to meet that one. Gillespie. Liverpool's throw. Here's Rush. Heading Bowlby, the little flick there. Lee still playing up as a front runner. McMahon changing the point of the attack and finding Beglin. And now with Whelan. And an easy clearance that time for Wicks. One Rangers man up against two. And Gillespie outwitting Michael Robinson and finding Sammy Lee. In turn finding McMahon. And here's Beglin. Liverpool getting into that same irresistible rhythm early in the second half. Liverpool's throw. Neat little touch again from McMahon, picking up Whelan. Bannister. Allen. Warren Neal finding Robinson, but enough support for him. John Smith in the centre there with the cap. He's done a good job managerially, particularly at Oxford. He's now aiming to get things right at Queen's Park Rangers. Jim's never been to Wembley as a manager or a player. And tonight will tell us, no doubt, whether he will in the Milk Cup this year. One of the great managerial characters in the game, though, Jim Smith. Robinson. Big up and under. McDonald's header. Lee. And a foul by Sammy Lee on Warren Neal, a free kick to Queen's Park Rangers.
Well, one thing about little Sammy Lee, Brian, wherever you play him, he will give 100%. I think he's a smashing little player. You know, if all the players in the English league were as good as him and had the same character as him, the game would certainly not be in the state it's in.
Mulvey. Beglin. Mulvey. Whelan. Good play here from Liverpool. Johnston trying to come in on the far side. Dawes doing some important work there, supported by Fillery. But Liverpool again get possession, and it's now back with Gary Gillespie. Rangers throw. Robinson, who hurls a good long throw. Fillery. Oh, a poor touch there. Lee trying to winkle it away for Liverpool, but here are Rangers now with Michael Robinson again. Showed far too much of that to McMahon. MacDonald away. No nonsense about him. Beglin's header, won by Fenwick. Pick on again there by Fillery, and Allen with the shots.
That was a fair effort by the youngster there, Brian, wasn't it? You know, he had a pop there from about almost 30 yards and only a yard or so wide.
Won Bury 0 was the half-time score now confirmed from Vicarage Road. John Barnes the scorer there. Rangers throw on the far side. Dawes coming in quickly. Oh, and Grobbelaar had to save, and the first time he's really been brought into action as Martin Allen got in with the shot from a very, very sharp angle, and some good work here by Ian Dawes. And saved by Grobbelaar, and a free kick in centre field now for Queen's Park Rangers. Fillery. MacDonald's gone up for this one, got his header to it as well, but pushed in on Whelan as he did so. A free kick to Liverpool. So Mulvey. So Wembley awaits the winners next month. Game still splendidly balanced. Gillespie. That's a good searching ball if Lawrenson can keep it in, which he has. Now Johnston. And the whistle had gone for an offside against Mark Lawrenson. So the score remains at Liverpool 1, Queen's Park Rangers 0. Aggregate 1-1. Confirming the half-time score now from the late kick-off at Kenilworth Road. Luton 1, Arsenal 0. Dawes. James. Allen, that's a good ball there. Now can Fillery get on the end of it? No, good work by Lawrenson. But the clearance only comes as far as Robbie James. This looks better for Rangers. Robinson with a header down. Fenwick is in there too, enticing Warren Neal to come and link up with the attack. Allen. some of the best passing movements that Rangers have shown. Played on again for Robbie James. And just for a moment, Liverpool were in just a little bit of trouble there. But in the end, Lawrenson will get them out of it. That's a lovely ball to Beglin, taken well by him. Mulvey outside him. Sweeping pass this time for Johnston. But he couldn't get through Dawes, who finds James. In turn tries to get Martinelli on his way. Here comes Grobbelaar. No mistake this time. Back to Grobbelaar. Gillespie, McMahon, Beglin. Now Rush. Played for Mulvey. Rush offside.
I would think that Jim Smith has had a word or two with his team at half-time, Brian, because, you know, they've come out in the second half much more assertive in their attitude, you know, and they're really having a go now rather than sitting back and hanging on.
It's Whelan for Liverpool. McMahon. And now Hansen. Offside again. So the Rangers back four are pushing up very quickly in this second half and catching Liverpool offside.
Well, that's right, because, you know, in the first half they were falling back into their own box, but they do play the offside game quite well.
Hansen. Whelan. Beglin. Rush. Johnston. Now Mulvey. Ball through for Whelan, who's offside. Header. Hansen quite comfortably beating Bannister, but Allen getting in there again. Gillespie this time. Now Fenwick. Warren Neal. There's Lawrenson easily cutting that one out and finding Mulvey. Now can Sammy's little legs keep that one in play? And indeed, I think the flag is up. No, the flag is up way back. He gave it his best shot, did Sammy Lee, and at the same time Mulvey is spraying some magnificent balls all around this pitch tonight. There's Bannister trying to get his man away, but Robinson couldn't keep it in play. It'll be a throw to Liverpool. In tremendous form again.
Oh yes, having another good game, Brian. It's great to see him, you know, a player as big as him is so neat and tidy, you know, with the ball. Lovely touch.
Except from the penalty spot.
Tonight, yes.
But here's Martin Allen. Fenwick. And now Neal. Trying to curl one in there towards Robinson, who feels he was unfairly and harshly dealt with by the Liverpool defence, but the ball goes for a Liverpool throw. Bannister. Well, there's some space here for Bannister. Trying to get it back for Fillery's shots. Oh, brilliant own goal! Probably off Beglin, but a crazy own goal. And Rangers have pulled it back to 1-1 on the night. Well, Martin Allen has gone screaming away. And here's how it happened. What a crazy goal. In fact, it came off Ronnie Whelan, and it's an own goal.
I mean, the ball was bobbling all over the place, but you're right enough there. Jim Beglin bagged that against Ronnie Whelan and straight in the net. But I must say that the Queen's Park Rangers certainly deserve to be in front, because in the second half they've come out, they've decided to play, and they've got the goal. And you know, as I say, I think they thoroughly deserved it.
And what a cup tie we've got now. Well, Jim Smith might feel that Wembley could be around the corner, but he'll know, as well as you know, that there's still over 30 minutes of this cup tie left. Aaron's ball. Well, it was an unfortunate own goal by Ronnie Whelan, and a totally uncharacteristic mix-up in that Liverpool defence. They've never really looked in the slightest danger all night. And then suddenly that happened. And suddenly Kenny Dalglish, who was 35 years old yesterday, sees there may be no great cause for celebrations tonight. This time Gillespie does get it back successfully to Grobbelaar. What an amazing cup tie now. 1-1 on the night, 2-1 to QPR overall. And up behind that Queen's Park Rangers goal, the Rangers travelling fans are showing banners and flags, and at the moment are out shouting the cop. Free kick to QPR. Well, they've made the long journey up the M1 and the M6, and at the moment it's very worthwhile. And really against all the odds after so much Liverpool pressure. 1-1 tonight, 2-1 to Rangers over the two legs. Lawrenson towards Rush, into touch, Rangers throw. Just under the half hour to go now. Bannister, Robinson chasing, Lawrenson with him, a foul and a free kick to Liverpool. Donald's header. Robbie James away. Only as far as Gillespie. And Beglin kept that in well. Liverpool's throw. Here's Hansen. Mulvey. Rush. And Johnston finding Lawrenson on the far side. Beaten the ball by Allen, and Whelan can't change direction quickly enough, and so it'll be a throw to QPR. Well, Rangers have got Wayne Faraday warming up. He's got very fond memories of Anfield in the 1-1 draw here last year. It was Faraday who scored for Rangers. And certainly 1-1 tonight would be enough to put Rangers through to Wembley. Beglin. Johnston. Rush. With a handball by Johnston gives Rangers the free kick. MacDonald. Hanson away. And there was a challenge by Fenwick very high on Molby there, which I don't think the referee spotted. Ian St John?
Well, I certainly spotted. I think you did as well, Brian. It was a nasty one, and Molby was looking at a referee and having a word with him, actually.
Gillespie with a header. Fenwick versus McMahon. Craig Johnston, but Martin Allen finding Robinson. Fillery, a poor shot from a long way out. John Walk warming up for Liverpool. And the referee in the meantime having a long discussion there with Molby, whether Molby is still complaining about the challenge from Terry Fenwick of a minute or so ago. That was probably it. Now it's Beglin. Rush. McMahon. And Beglin making his run, but Barron was there and saw it. And his timing was okay.
You know, Beglin, who hit the ball against Ronnie Whelan for the goal, Brian, he's very much a left-footed player. And had he kicked it with his right foot, he'd have got out of the box. But being a left-footed player, he tried to clear it with his left, and of course hit Whelan with it, and that caused the goal.
Lee with the throw for Liverpool. Molby. That's easy for Barron. Beglin. Neil's header for Queen's Park Rangers. Fenwick. Robinson off, chasing again, but Grobbelaar will gather it for Liverpool. MacDonald. Neil. There's Johnston. Whelan. Back to Whelan again. Inside now to Jan Molby. Sammy Lee trying to get a 1-2 going, and it was Wicks who intervened at the expense of a corner. Johnston with it. Beglin. And it looked like an obstruction there on Robinson, and indeed the free kick's given. That decision given by the linesman and not by the referee, and the ball was moving there. Rangers, I think, wasting a little bit of time. I don't think that'll fool the referee. So Warren Neal will take it. Whelan, whose unfortunate own goal has made it 1-1. And Dawes. Molby. Robinson running it into touch, a Liverpool throw. Well, they've also had an own goal at Luton in the cup tie between Luton and Arsenal. David O'Leary an own goal, the second one for Luton. And Robinson Michael Robinson goes into the book, the 4th Rangers player to go there tonight.
Silly bit of time wasted, really, that, Brian.
Hanson, Beglin, Wicks getting above Craig Johnston. Whelan doing well for Liverpool, dinking another one in. Mulby, tremendous power there. Robinson's header, jumping with Hanson, finding Fillery, an offside against Bannister, no doubt about it. A moving ball, and the referee won't allow that. And he'll want it in the right place. So we're a little over 20 minutes left. 1-1 here tonight. Rangers leading by 2 goals to 1 overall. Neil getting that one away. And now Bannister trying to get Robinson away, but that's Robilard's ball. Rush putting it on to Johnston! In the lead again tonight, and level again on aggregate. Ian Rush's ball, whether he made a contact or not is problematical looking at that, but Craig Johnston finished it off, and Liverpool are right back in the hunt again.
Well, it's amazing how simple you can score a goal. A big long punt down the field. The centre-half really didn't go and attack the ball. And Craig Johnson followed up in a mistake, and really a brave goal coming in, clashing with the goalkeeper. But I think you've got to look at the centre-backs there, and you know, if you're getting a long ball, it's a 70-yard punt up the park, and they're 6'2", those centre-halves, so somebody's got to go and head it.
Oh, Johnson okay. And so are the Kop. And so at the moment of Liverpool. But it's still 2-2 on aggregate. And there's still an awful lot of football left in this cup tie with 20 minutes to go. So they're waiting to restart. And the referee, whether he went into the bench to have a word with one of the managers, I'm not sure, but we're underway again now. Johnston. Neil. I think he may have been talking to Kenny Dalglish on the bench.
Yeah, I think that was the case, actually. Kenny had been given some information out, and the linesman reported him to the referee.
Wicks bowling over Lee and allowed to get away with it. And now McMahon for Liverpool. But Wicks is not done with yet. And another free kick to Liverpool. Whelan. Free kick to Queen's Park Rangers. To clarify it all, with Liverpool leading by 2 goals to 1 here tonight, with Rangers having won at Loftus Road by 1-0. It's 2-2 on aggregate. If it stays that way to the end of normal time, we have extra time, If the teams are level on aggregate at the end of extra time, we then have a third game. Now, can Rangers come back at Liverpool again? Fennick. And a shot by Warren Neal. Cannoned off the Liverpool defender. Gillespie getting it away. Free kick to Liverpool. Foul by Wicks on Rush. Lawrenson. Came off Whelan's head. Mulby chasing. Whelan. And I gather that at Upton Park, Manchester United have now scored an equaliser, 1-1 there. Frank Stapleton the scorer for Manchester United after Frank McAvenny had put West Ham ahead. Free kick to Rangers. With a quarter of an hour of normal time remaining. Fillery with it. Whelan getting it away quite comfortably to Ian Rush. Beglin to Whelan. And Beglin again. Mulby, stopped by Allen. On. Gillespie. Cut out by Allen. James. It's a good searching run and a ball that finds Bannister. But I think James is injured at the moment. When he made that pass, he pulled up almost at once. He might be suffering just a little bit, James. At the moment it's Beglin now for Liverpool. Struggling a little bit at the moment, Robbie James, as you can see. The moment he played that ball wide after a good run. And here he is again. And now with Allen. It's Lawrenson's ball, good header. And here's Mulby for Liverpool. Whelan. Mulby. What do you think, Ian?
Well, it's a bit end-to-end now. It's, it's good stuff apart from the final ball into the box. Both sides, haven't been too accurate with that one, but it's certainly bubbling up, and it's anybody's game now, isn't it, going into the last sort of 10 minutes of the match.
Hansen. Beglin's made a good run for him, but he's offside. Got to get away from that position for the free kick to be taken, and now it has been. Hansen again. And Rush has made a tremendous driving run through the middle. Whelan, Craig Johnston, and an offside, and a free kick to Queen's Park Rangers.
But Alan Hansen pushing forward a lot now, Brian. You know, he's trying to push his team on in these last 10 minutes and get that vital goal. And there's nobody more comfortable in football than Alan Hansen when he comes forward. He really is some player.
Eglin. Well, we're coming to the last 10 minutes, and this is no time for anybody to be making a mistake. Crucial moments now, and it's all square on aggregate as Rangers come forward again with Martin Allen, and now with Neil. A deep cross towards Bannister on the far side, and Grobbelaar gathering it well, and then sending Lawrenson off. Rush has gone out wide. Craig Johnston's gone through the middle. Here's Rush. Looked for Mulvey, but it was cut out by Fillery. James finding Bannister. Just 10 minutes remaining now. Lawrenson again. Beglin. In for Whelan. Well, Fillery was waiting to pick that one up. And finds Robinson, but Allen couldn't turn quickly enough, and Whelan gets possession for Liverpool. Mulvey. McMahon, scorer of Liverpool's opening goal. Mulvey claims handball, the referee waves play on, and Rangers have suddenly got men forward, including the full-back Ian Dawes on the far side now. Bannister. Fillery. Dawes again. Poor ball. And here's McMahon for Liverpool. Rush, bringing McMahon into it again. And on the left-hand side is Beglin. And on the far left is Craig Johnston. And Gillespie has made a great run through the middle too. Whelan. Gillespie. And Rangers have pulled everybody back now. Craig Johnston. Beglin onto the right foot. Good save by the keeper.
That was a good shot. I mean, he doesn't favour that right foot, but he caught that one, turned inside, lovely. Again, left the centre half for dead, and good effort. The goalkeeper did well.
In the European Cup, as we watch the Rangers substitute, Wayne Faraday coming on, Hewitt has put Aberdeen 2-1 into the lead. I think it's going to be Gary Bannister who's coming off for Wayne Faraday, but here's Bannister on the ball at the moment. Now, what happens if he scores? Will they still take him off? Well, that's purely academic now. That could well be the last touch for Gary Bannister. It's a free kick to Queen's Park Rangers, who are just waiting to get the flying winger Wayne Faraday on.
But, he's changed his mind, Jim Smith. I mean, it's always a terrible time to take somebody off. And Gary Bannister, for all he's not played well tonight, Brian, I know Gary very well, and he is a good player, and he is a good goal scorer, and really, you know, hasn't probably lived up to his ability. He should really have done a lot better.
Well, here's a free kick. Interesting position. And Rangers very often come up with the unexpected. It's a floater. My goodness, and that was no more than 3 or 4 inches wide. from Terry Fenwick.
Well, that was a cracker, wasn't it? I mean, it was curling all the way, just curled an inch too wide. But a super free kick.
And Faraday's coming on now. And Bannister will come on. He's been having a bit of trouble with a knee injury, in point of fact, Gary Bannister, and he missed last Saturday's game at Birmingham. Whether that has still bothered him or not, I don't know. But Faraday is on. And as I reminded you, he scored here last year when Rangers drew 1-1. In the meantime, this looks more promising for Liverpool. As McMahon, and it's cut out in the nick of time by Neil, gets Faraday away. And there are a few quicker players in the First Division than Wayne Faraday. And it's touched in!
It's another own goal.
Well, it looked like an own goal, although Robinson was right in there. How much longer to go, says Robinson. What a remarkable cup tie this is turning out to be. Ian St John.
Well, that's Faraday just come on the field and dinked a lovely little ball into the box, and we'll see if it was in fact it may actually Michael Robinson may have just got there first and got a touch to it.
Robinson will claim it. And Rangers are back in the lead overall. 5 minutes now to go.
Well, we may have a better look at it from here, Brian, and see if in fact it was Gillespie. Yes, it was Gillespie who got his foot to it.
Gillespie own goal. And Rangers now 5 minutes away from Wembley. 2-2 here tonight, 3-2 on aggregate. Fenwick. James. And Grobbelaar, in frustration, hammers that ball forward. Lawrenson. Now have Liverpool got the composure and the firepower to save it even at this late date? Mulvey. Have Rangers got the nerve to hold on? The prize is a massive one, this appearance at Wembley, and they've still got some work to do as McMahon gets it through to Craig Johnston and pushed back by Dawes to Barron, and a little over 3 minutes remaining. Cop has gone quiet, and Rangers are now exactly 3 minutes away. Hansen, the long ball forward. Johnston, no handball there. Neil plays it forward again. Gillespie with the header this time. McMahon playing it for Lawrenson. Rush is up there. Fillery to Allen. Allen again, playing it down to the corner to waste a little more time. Now antics from Grobbelaar with a little over 2 minutes remaining. Wicks with a header away. Fenwick playing it back to the safety of his keeper Paul Barron. Well, in their time, Liverpool have provided some amazing and some dramatic climaxes. Not least, of course, last Sunday with the last-minute winner against Tottenham. Sheffield Wednesday leading Derby County by 2 goals to 0 up at Hillsborough. And here, Rangers now are 90 seconds away. Hansen. A little flick there from Craig Johnston. No free kick.
Do you know, it's an amazing thing, really, Brian. I don't think Ian Rush has had one shot at goal tonight, or a header either. I don't think he's had one strike on goal.
Neil. Lee. Mulby. We're playing inside the last minute now of this Milk Cup semi-final, with the score here 2-2 and Queen's Park Rangers leading 3-2 on aggregate. Remarkable thing, of course, that both the Rangers' goals tonight are own goals. One by Whelan, and that last one appeared to be by Gillespie, although Robinson may well have got in there himself. Get the ball at that end, says Jim Smith, the Rangers manager.
Oh, it would be lovely if Jimmy gets to Wembley, because he's battled it right through for the non-leagues, the first division, and it'd be lovely for him if he gets there.
Neil for Rangers. Stopped by Hansen. Neil again. Well, we're now playing stoppage time, and it's only a matter of seconds away now, this moment of glory for Queen's Park Rangers. Referee Hutchinson looking hard at his watch, and again as Liverpool make one last assault. Craig Johnston finding McMahon, can Beglin turn it in? That's the final whistle, and Rangers go through to the Milk Cup final on an aggregate of 3-2. Jim Smith, the manager, and the supporters absolutely delighted.
Michael.
McMahon scored first, and Johnston scored for Liverpool, and then those two own goals. What a night of celebration for Queen's Park Rangers. Jim Smith's gone across. Here's Michael Robinson.
Michael, how do you feel?
Tired, related, it's not worthwhile. Like, we've really been hammered territorially tonight, but we've just stuck in and we're there. We've had a bit of luck, you know, but
I mean, more than once you must have thought you'd lost it, the penalty miss when Craig Johnson came back at you.
No, that's when it's written all over, when Paul makes a great save, and we had a bit of luck like that, but then two own goals. So anyway, it's well, you need a bit of luck, and we're there time. We've worked hard for it.
And it's no mean feat to come to Anfield and win, is it?
No, it's not at all. They're a great team, a fantastic team, and we're just privileged to beat them.
Michael, many congratulations. Go and enjoy your champagne.
Thanks very much, Steve.
Cheers.
Well, the Rangers players are loath to leave the pitch at the moment. Jim Smith has been battling away across there to hug all his players, and I think he'd like to do it to all the Rangers fans as well. I just hope we might get a word with Jim Smith before we leave you at Anfield. Never been to Wembley before, but now he's got an appointment there next month with Bob Hall.
Jim, your reaction?
Well, obviously, one of pride and one of delight. I'm proud of the performance tonight, and delighted to be going to Wembley with QPR. Just want Oxford to get there now.
I was going to say, you must be hoping for that game.
Hope so, yeah. I hope that'll make the day for Oxford there along with us.
Enjoy your champagne. Thank you, Jim.
Cheers.
Well, Jim Smith victorious, and he'll be making that walk at Wembley after all, Mike.
Yeah, great. I'm delighted for Jim. Delighted for the players, and I thought that that QPR were great. I thought they'd come out second half. I think Jim Smith must have said to them, go out and play. You're going to get beat if you sit back like you were first half. They've gone out and done the business, and they always look dangerous. And it's worked out great for them. I'm well pleased.
It was a thumping good cup tie, wasn't it?
Oh, that's it. I mean, end-to-end stuff. I mean, but Liverpool never had a chance, you know. They never created one chance apart from McMahon's goal, where he scored a great goal. I mean, they must have been really disappointed with the long kick down the middle and Johnson flipping it over for the equaliser. But after that, you know, they kept playing away and kept working hard, and they were getting the crosses in. In second half, they were getting good control, QPR. They must have been delighted.
Let's have a look at the winning goal, Mike. I'm sure all Queen's Park Rangers supporters at home will be anxious to see it again.
I couldn't believe the space that Hansen let him have, and he's half turned away, and he's let the lad cross the ball. Grobler again, I don't know what he's doing. He's gone out. He should have stood on his line there, and the pressure Mick Robinson's put on it, he's deflected it in. He's let the lad cross the ball. This is what I couldn't believe. Mick Robinson's dived in, brave as a lion, and there you go. Bit of luck. QPR at Wembley, great.
And it'll be quite a thing for Jim Smith if it's Oxford who they play in the final there.
That's right. You know, Jim's been in the game a long time, an honest bloke. All the players that ever played under him, I was talking to Frank Worthington the other week, loved him. You know, players love him, and they responded to him.
There they are, Mick, in the dressing room. They're savouring this moment, and good luck to them, mate. The underdogs making a habit of getting to Wembley like they did last year.
That's right. I was there last year. I know how they feel. Delighted for them.
Well, that's smashing. There's Mike Robinson, who certainly had a hand in that winning goal. His first game back at Anfield, and back at Wembley. Well, they're delightful pictures, Mike, aren't they?
Great, yeah. I know exactly how they feel now. They'll be like that for another week. They've got to remember they've got a game on Saturday.
Right, well, let's have a look at the scores now from around the country. Plenty of FA Cup ties and also the European Cup involving Aberdeen, a 2-2 draw there. Let's have a look at the FA Cup matches. They haven't all finished. Watford 1, Bury 0 is the latest score. West Ham United 1, Manchester United 1 is a final result. Frank Stapleton got the United equaliser, but poor old Brian Robson carried off with that dislocated shoulder after 3 minutes. The fifth round replays: Millwall 0, Southampton 1, Sheffield Wednesday 2 goals by Carl Shutt, Derby 0, and the fifth round second replay: Luton 3, Arsenal 0. It's been a good night, hasn't it? Queen's Park Rangers are at Wembley. They'll play either Oxford or Aston Villa in the Milk Cup final. More live football on Sunday on ITV, and we don't know which game it's going to be yet, so watch this space. From Mike Channon and myself, I hope you've enjoyed it. A very good night to you all.
The big action film, The French Connection, starring Gene Hackman, follows on Thames in just a few moments from now.
British Rail, the quickest way to get in and out of town. We're getting there.
There's a new beer around that's so light, anything else seems just heavy. It's called Miller Lite, the new Pilsner from America. It has a cleaner taste because more of the sugar's been turned to alcohol and goes down so smooth. Anything else seems just heavy.
The taste is keen, it's Miller Lite. It goes down clean, it's Miller Lite. It's my baby, it's Miller Lite. It ain't heavy, it's Miller Lite.
Since its launch, sales of the Cavalier have rocketed. A family car that drives like a sports car. Small wonder it's taken off. And now with 8 fuel-injected models, it's still a jump ahead of its rivals. The new fuel-injected Vauxhall Cavaliers. Fly one soon.
Do you know me? Writing novels takes me to the oddest places. And if I'm going single-handed, I like to travel light. I can take care of almost everything I need with this.
The American Express card. Apply for it today.
It carries a lot of weight.
I say, the rest is my luggage.
Just a short visit, is it, sir?
Oh, rather.
Don't leave home without it.
Blocked nose, catarrh, headache and pain. Some people go for a decongestant, others a painkiller. Now Sinutab's double action gives you both for fast, effective relief.
And now the weather forecast. The cold spell continues with more snow expected.
What does it take to keep Britain going on the coldest day? It takes energy. British Gas. Energy is our business.
This is Thames from London. Now the action film The French Connection.
The Irish love their horses, and never more so than at festival time. Long days of dancing and singing, the land over. Then, when the bartering ends, a deal is struck, with the slap of earth on beast, and those who came as strangers leave as friends. Ireland, you'll only know by being there.
Country Homes and Interiors is a new magazine for the kind of woman who thinks that flowers don't simply belong in vases, who enjoys looking at houses more when she knows who lives in them, who loves antiques, especially when she's paid yesterday's prices, who never stole a design idea without improving it, who believes clinical kitchens belong in clinics, who speaks of food and friendship in the same breath, who loves the country look even when she's not in the country. New Country Homes and Interiors for the kind of houses you'd leave home for.
If NEC's new thinking facsimile can phone documents in a matter of seconds, round the world or round the corner, at any time of night or day, to up to 100 different addresses, and redial if engaged, automatically adjust its own image quality for halftone or typescript, with foolproof simplicity, what could one do for your business? Dial 01200 0200 now for details of the NEFAX thinking facsimile range from NEC.
Cats make haste for the munchies taste. The munchies taste makes cats make haste. Munchies are made with real fish and meat, and that's what cats love to eat.
Munchies are always made with real meat. That's real liver, real chicken, real rabbit, real tuna, and real pilchard. Not just flavors.
Real meat and fish make cats make haste, so cats make haste for the munchies taste.
I didn't know Gareth was such a sportsman.
Neither did I. What are all these cups for?
Well, that one's for boxing, this one's for fencing, and these two are for Nescafe.
Favourite cup. Mine too.
Of course, because only Nescafe has that special blend and roast, and that richer, smoother taste.
Hold on. All these cups are for second place.
With one exception.
Which one?
This one. Well, Nescafe is
Second to none.
Nescafe, coffee at its best. By turning liquid gas into raw materials for everyday objects, we are now using all the North Sea's resources, every last drop.
This is Thames from London. The time is 10 o'clock.
Labour councillors must pay up. They blame the judges. South African police cut off a township's funerals. The Iranian child bride's husband, the Home Office says no more. 1 year on, the mining family who ran the gauntlet. And 50 years on, the Spitfire is back in town. Good evening. 80 Labour councillors from Liverpool and the London Borough of Lambeth lost their appeals today against surcharges and disqualification. Lord Justice Glidewell said they deliberately delayed setting rates last year to threaten the government with a breakdown in local services. Mr. Justice Caulfield said the councillors reached the pinnacle of political perversity. From Liverpool, 48 councillors are surcharged or fined £2,200 each, with thousands in costs to pay on top of that, and they're not allowed to sit on a council for 5 years. From Lambeth, 32 Labour councillors face an average surcharge of more than £3,300. Again, they have to pay costs, and they're disqualified for 5 years. The Lambeth leader, Mr. Ted Knight, said the court's ruling today showed the judges were backing the Thatcher government to the hilt. His group say they want a meeting with the Labour leader, Mr. Kinnock, before they decide whether or not they'll appeal again to the House of Lords.
The court has thrown out their appeal. The councillors have not only been banned from holding local government office, but the surcharges could mean personal bankruptcy. For those who want to be MPs, bankruptcy would mean an end to parliamentary ambition. But Liverpool's deputy leader says they'll appeal.
We were elected by the people of Liverpool, that the people of Liverpool expect us to do a job, and certainly we're not allowing now a political judgment that was taken today to stop us doing that particular job of work.
Both councils claimed the backing of the electors and mobilised mass demonstrations. But they knew that by delaying setting a rate, they were laying themselves open to challenge. Liverpool in particular waved a red rag to the government, claiming it was impossible for them to balance the budget. In the end they did, in Liverpool's case with maximum publicity, with the aid of Swiss bank loans and only after redundancy notices had been sent to the entire workforce. There were allegations of malpractice and militant influence, which led to a Labour Party inquiry recommending expulsions. Tonight, the leaders of Liverpool's blue-collar unions called for an all-out strike tomorrow in support of the councillors. But from past experience, the white-collar unions won't join in. At Lambeth tonight, there was a defiant rally. The Labour Party now face an internal fight over whether the councillors should be reimbursed. The party conference voted for that, so will the Labour Party pay the surcharges?
I don't believe there is any prospect of retrospective legislation. Neil Kinnock has made his views quite clear on that, and I certainly support him, nor do I think such promises will be worth very much, because frankly there are massive problems facing these people now, and some commitment to doing something about it at some unspecified time in the future simply will not help resolve the problem.
Decisions in the Labour Party are taken by Labour Party conferences, and John Cunningham and Neil Kinnock, like me, accept and have to obey conference decisions. So I expect that to be altered this year at the Labour Party conference.
Sheffield's leader, David Blunkett, called the court ruling rough justice. Sheffield, along with 5 London boroughs, was also late setting a rate. He's been selected for a safe Labour seat, but following today's ruling, the auditor will now be looking at the other 6 councils. Individual councillors like Pat Williams could face great personal costs. She's Deputy Mayor of Lambeth. She's 66 and has been in a wheelchair for nearly 30 years. She lives in a council flat. With costs, she says she expects to face a bill of nearly £4,000. Tonight, she said she simply can't pay. Sarah Cullen, News at 10, Central London.
In South Africa, a mass funeral became a giant rally against apartheid as 25,000 people mourned the death of 17 blacks killed in clashes with police. The scene was Alexandra Township, where there was rioting last month. The township is right beside the wealthy northern suburbs of Johannesburg, and it was sealed off today by thousands of troops and police.
At dawn, the motorway from Pretoria was thick with troop carriers, all heading towards Alexandra as one of the most extensive security operations seen in Johannesburg got underway. By sunrise, the mixed force of police and army had closed the door on the township. The empty buses confirmed the success of the stay-away. Any other day, thousands would be streaming over the bridge for work in the white business districts. This morning, few were prepared to defy the organizers' boycott. Only a single road separates the township from the white suburbs, and the security forces were in place to ensure it could not be crossed. Their command post and medical center was overlooking the township. Once again, cameras were banned from the funeral, but the people poured in. Some crossed the police roadblock with difficulty. For this multiracial group of United Democratic Front members, a lengthy wait as their bus was searched for weapons. From the highway behind the township, you could just glimpse the tens of thousands of people joining them at the stadium, gathered round 17 coffins of people killed by police in 6 days of rioting 2 weeks ago. In a country used to 7 months of the state of emergency, the security operation today still unprecedented. Past the roadblock and it's like entering another country. A city of 100,000 people, totally deserted, except for hundreds upon hundreds of police and troops manning every empty intersection. It's a frightening picture of a town truly under a state of emergency. By late afternoon, security outside the township was stepped up even further as thousands of mourners began making their way home. A final shout of defiance at the police manning the roadblocks. By now, army marksmen had taken up positions on the edge of the township, and at dusk, a by now familiar sight over Alexandra. Police reported the area quiet, but with the media ban still strictly enforced, the cause and effect of this latest unrest again goes unreported. Peter Sharp, News at 10, outside Alexandra.
Here, the government is thinking of changing the immigration laws to stop child brides being brought into Britain. It follows a police investigation into the case of 12-year-old Elam Barami, who was brought here from Iran in January by her husband of 27.
2 police officers made an early morning visit to Levenshulme High School for girls in the suburbs of Manchester. They want to interview the child bride, but were told she spent only 6 days in class so far and hadn't turned up today. Unlike Elam's classmates, her headmaster was aware his new pupil had a husband to return to at night.
We have a statutory duty to provide the girl with education, and we would be wrong not to be educating her, whatever the circumstances are, whilst the appropriate people are investigating the situation.
The couple were not at their rented flat, which has become their marital home, and their landlord says he'll be evicting them because of the girl's age.
I was actually not happy with that, and I really noticed. I said, how they let you in on Heathrow airports? How they let you in?
The landlord invited us inside the flat where the girl is learning English between housework. Mid-afternoon, the husband, a 27-year-old trainee pharmacist, returned to the premises alone and complaining about all the publicity.
You have got different culture. You might do a lot of things which is wrong in our country. So we do something, it's our culture, and we do it in our country.
He says he loves his child bride and wants to stay here, but the government is far from happy about this type of marriage custom, as he was told in a phone call to his solicitor this afternoon.
We've got to stop it. I'm not quite sure what we can do about the instant case. I'm going to look into that, but on the face of it, that this man was admitted validly as a student. But we can't allow this sort of thing to happen again, and I've instructed my officials to draft an amendment to the immigration rules to prevent it happening again.
2 pits came out on one-day strikes today, the anniversary of the end of the miners' strike. Men came out at Rossington near Doncaster, supporting 26 others who haven't been reinstated. They were out too at Hem Heath near Stoke, over 9 others. 1 year after the strike, Mr. Arthur Scargill's prediction of 20,000 jobs lost turns out to be 30,000 lost. The Coal Board says 28,000 went voluntarily. Production when the strike began was 1.7 million metric tons a week. There was an overtime ban. Now, with 30,000 fewer jobs, production is 1.9 million metric tons a week.
Kent miners refused to march back until days after the other coalfields returned, partly due to traditional militancy, partly because they'd little to lose by staying out. The Coal Board had done nothing to dispel fears that much of the coalfield would be closed. 3 months after the strike, Tilmanston, despite manning cuts, was still in the red and was earmarked for closure. So was Betsanger, producing coal at twice what it sold for. That left only Snowdown not producing while new faces are developed. Then came what the board saw as a magical turnaround. Pre-strike Betsanger coal cost £110 a tonne to mine. By the end of last year, that was down to under £45. Tilmanston, meanwhile, had got its cost per tonne down from £62 to £42. In the lamp room at Tilmanston, the production target board isn't big enough to record the surge in output. Every skip wound up now makes a £60 profit. The coal board say the threat of closure resulted in a rush of realism and greater effort. But the miners, reduced in number from 8 to 500, say the improvement is because of easier working, which may not last.
Well, I think they're looking pretty good at the moment in the short term. I think in the long term it's still very iffy.
Whilst the pit's making a profit at the moment with this one face, we'll be all right, we'll be staying open. But as soon as that starts making a loss, they'll just say, right, that's it, we're going to closure.
Most of the people in the pit now are young men. I'm one of the older men on the face. And the young men are certainly putting every effort they can into keeping this pit open.
Managers detect a permanent change in relations and plan to capitalise on that.
At the present time, we are now producing coal, which is as competitively placed in the marketplace as coal from any other coalfield.
There's much more optimism that the pits here will survive, but the current slump in oil and coal prices adds a new measure of uncertainty. Michael Green, News at 10 in the Kent coalfield.
One Welsh miner and his wife had to move to Nottinghamshire after the strike. He had gone on working. She had been attacked in her car after taking him to work. Now she'd like to go back to Wales, but dare they?
For 4 months of the strike, Paul and Joy Watson drove a daily gauntlet of hatred to get him to work. Their car was pelted with missiles, and on one occasion a lump of concrete smashed through the windscreen, narrowly missing Mrs. Watson. Paul Watson endured 5 months of post-strike bitterness before asking for a transfer and moving to Hucknall Colliery near Nottingham. But the move has not been a happy one, and now his family are homesick for the valleys.
Radio Wales News at 3 o'clock. Detectives in Colwyn Bay who are hunting...
The family are still tuned in to news back home, and Joy Watson spends much of her time on the phone to friends there. Her husband insists he wasn't driven out of Wales and that he left for his children's sake. But his memories are painful ones.
But they tried everything. They spat inside my face in the Betamax. They stand behind me in a club. Particular time, Christmas time, they were shouting, "Get home, Watson, you scab."
Despite that treatment, he says he'll return to the valleys if his wife insists.
If she says that she wants to go back tomorrow, I'll go back tomorrow. No hesitation. No, I don't care now. If it was 60,000... standing, waiting for me, I'd still go back.
His enemies are planning for that day and have launched a campaign to keep the Watsons out of Wales. Terry Lloyd, News at 10, Nottinghamshire.
7 Norwegian soldiers taking part in the NATO exercise have been killed in an avalanche. 7 others are still missing. It happened at Vassdalen during Operation Anchor Express, the biggest joint exercise of the year. It's 60 miles south of the fjord, where the Defence Secretary, Mr. George Younger, will watch British ships practice landing 3,500 Royal Marines. Tonight the search goes on for the missing Norwegians. Temperatures are expected to drop to minus 30 Celsius.
This current NATO exercise, the biggest ever of its kind, is testing NATO forces and the merchant shipping they would use in time of tension or war to hold northern Norway at least until American reinforcements could get here. It would inevitably be a cat-and-mouse game amongst the fjords, with British forces training to be able to land quickly and almost anywhere they're needed along this rugged coastline. Warships like HMS Exeter would provide naval gunfire support, as they did so successfully in the Falklands. And in another lesson from the Falklands, Navy helicopters would play a key role in getting troops and equipment ashore in rapid time. Much of the expense of this exercise has been taken up by chartering merchant ships to fit in with their Royal Navy counterparts. There simply aren't enough naval vessels to do the job. Ready to test them still further, Norwegian fast patrol boats, submarines and aircraft play the part of the enemy, trying to find and destroy the task force. The major part of the exercise, and it's a full-scale one, is the landing of a brigade of Royal Marines. That starts under the watchful eye of the new Defence Secretary George Younger in the next few days. Jeremy Hands, News at 10 in Arctic Norway.
The Spitfire, which with the Hurricane won the Battle of Britain, is 50 years old today. A report on another victory roll next. Plus, after his fight, Frank Bruno's open to offers. And a break from the sea for just another pilot of the Queen's Navy. That's in a couple of minutes.
Soon, Tokyo will be much closer to London. Nearly 6 hours closer. From April the 1st, Japan Airlines will be the only airline flying non-stop between London and Tokyo. Isn't that just what you'd expect from the world's #1 international airline? Japan Airlines. Everything you expect and more.
Today brought you the news in color. Were you ready for today?
I was ready.
I was ready.
I know ready! I know ready!
Today, the first newspaper in color 7 days a week. Order your Today today.
Now you can be there for a lot less than you think. For details of this and many other great value holidays, just dial 100 and ask for Free Phone Ireland.
What does it take to make the wheels of British industry turn? It takes energy. British Gas. Energy is our business.
Do you know me? Writing novels takes me to the oddest places. And if I'm going single-handed, I like to travel light. I can take care of almost everything I need with this.
The American Express card. Apply for it today.
It carries a lot of weight.
Eyes there. The rest is my luggage.
Just a short visit, is it, sir?
Rather.
Don't leave home without it.
"50 years exactly after the first Spitfire took to the air, one of the last of the famous fighters that changed the course of the Second World War flew over London today in full battle colours. Keeping at only 400 feet, it zoomed over Tower Bridge and past St Paul's. According to the pilot, Squadron Leader Paul Day, the flight was absolutely super. It reached the Houses of Parliament as Big Ben's Truck 11, only 3 seconds late.
They came back to Southampton Airport today, 50 years to the day since the very first Spitfire took off from here. Arguably one of the prettiest planes ever designed, more than 22,000 were turned out before the Spitfire flew operationally for the last time over Malaya in 1951. In 1940, they cost £5,000 each. Earlier this year, £300,000 was not enough to buy one of the survivors. A man who flew them knew just why the Spitfire was so special.
I've never flown a fighter with which the pilot has so much the feeling of being himself the aircraft. You feel that you have your hands at the end of the wings and you are flying, not the aircraft, you are flying, the aircraft is flying, and you are both one person.
The day here began with a near disaster when the undercarriage of one machine collapsed on landing. Temporary repairs allowed it to be towed back to the hangars. There are 14 operational Spitfires left in Europe, with others in the United States, South Africa and Australia. Today, they block the roads in their thousands, young and old here, to pay tribute to a legend, the mechanical few which gave the living few that famous victory. Ray Maloney, News at 10, Southampton Airport.
Some United States banks have started to cut interest rates tonight to 9.25%, and the financial markets expect a German interest rate cut tomorrow. If it happens, that'll encourage hopes of industrial growth and help the Chancellor, Mr. Lawson, with his budget. The FT index closed at 1,301.3, a new record, up 20 points on the day, and up 15% this year. Mr. Graham Day, chairman of British Shipbuilders, is to become chairman of British Leyland. The bids for parts of the company announced today are as on News at 10 last night. At the Daily Record in Glasgow tonight, printers faced with 300 dismissals by Mr. Robert Maxwell began an indefinite occupation of the plant.
The Soviet Communist Party Congress went into closed session this afternoon to elect a new Central Committee to support Mr. Gorbachev. Earlier, party delegates adopted his ideas for higher productivity, new technology, and better consumer goods. For the second of his special reports from Moscow, our diplomatic editor, Michael Brunson, went shopping to see what choice the consumer has now.
As every Moscow housewife knows, you don't get what you want without queuing for it. Not even at this store, Moscow's equivalent, since it happens to be near a big bus station, of Brent Cross or the Arndale Centre. It's not so much that there aren't goods in the Moscow shops, it's the fact that the consumers don't like them very much. The constant complaints about poor quality, Soviet cups aren't always round, for example, have reached the ruling Politburo. Mr. Gorbachev has decreed that Soviet citizens have a perfect right to demand high-quality consumer goods, largely because if there's something to spend their money on, people in the Soviet Union might actually work a bit harder. There's one place, though, where you don't have to queue, and it's here, one of the 10 free markets in Moscow. Here, anyone with homegrown or raised produce, the local version of sauerkraut seemed especially popular, can come in and sell it. Prices are fixed by bargaining, and it's all quite legal. It's especially popular with older, retired people who, for example, keep bees and sell honey here. The building is run by the state, and the food, calves' heads and all, is tested before it can be sold. The whole operation is financed by charging the sellers for the privilege. The charges are fixed. You pay 40 pence a day for the space, another 40 pence a day for the white overalls, 30 pence a day for the scales. The butchering methods are spectacular, but at least the meat is fresh. That and the regularity of supplies here make the market fairly popular, but only fairly. For surprisingly, the busiest counter in the place was a store run by the state meat organization, the sales girls in regulation blue rather than rented white. The reason for the popularity? It's cheaper, because like most Soviet food production here, this operation is heavily subsidized. Michael Brunson, News at 10, Moscow.
Tonight, soccer. QPR are through to the final of the Milk Cup after holding Liverpool to a 2-2 draw at Anfield. It was a second Liverpool own goal, this time by Gary Gillespie, which clinched a 3-2 victory for Rangers on aggregate. Other Reds in trouble. European Cup quarter-final first leg, Aberdeen 2, Gothenburg 2, Alex Ferguson had hoped for 2-0. FA Cup fifth round, Watford 1, Bury 1, West Ham 1, Manchester United 1. The United England skipper Brian Robson went off after only 3 minutes with a dislocated shoulder. In the FA Cup fifth round replays, Millwall 0, Southampton 1, Wednesday 2, Derby 0. In the fifth round second replay, Luton sorted out, Luton 3, Arsenal 0. Cannon League Division 4, Hartlepool 1, Port Vale 1, Peterborough 0, Tranmere 1, Southend 2, Halifax 1. In the Scottish Cup fourth round, the Premier Division do it, Alloa 1, Motherwell 2, in the replay Falkirk 0, St Mirren 3. Fine Fair Scottish League Division 1, Brechin and Montrose postponed. Clyde 3, East Fife 4, Dumbarton 2, Ayr 0, Thistle 1, Airdrie 0. In the Scottish League Division 2, Cowdenbeath 0, Dunfermline going well, Dunfermline 1, East Stirling 1, St Johnstone 3, Meadowbank 0, Wraith Rovers 3.
Britain's boxing hero, Frank Bruno, is off to Las Vegas after last night's victory over the South African Jerry Coetzee. He's going to stake his claim for a world heavyweight title fight against the WBA champion Tim Weatherspoon. Last night's bout lasted just under 2 minutes. Bruno is said to have picked up £100,000 in prize money, while Coetzee's share was £150,000. Put another way, Bruno made about £900 a second, while Coetzee collected £1,350 per second.
1 minute and 50 seconds. That's all it took for Bruno to throw 2 terrible right-hand punches and convince Coetzee to retire from boxing. This morning, Coetzee was still in a daze.
I came out slow. We knew Frank was going to come out. That's the way he fights, very mechanically, comes forward. I wanted to break up his jab and counter jab. That was our plan. And as I blocked his jab and countered, boom, he came over with his big right. And he caught me right here.
A minute after that first devastating punch, Bruno's second right finished off the South African. Coetzee's 16.5 stones fell through the ropes, and with his body half in and half out of the ring, the referee stopped the fight after a count of 6 to save him from further punishment. Was Bruno surprised at the power of his own punch?
I think you haven't seen the power yet because I ain't developed and I haven't reached my full potential yet. The power there is just half there at the moment, you know what I mean? There's double the power to come out mentally and physically, but it just needs time.
What did you say to him afterwards?
I just said, you know, that's cricket, old sport, you know what I mean? That is just cricket.
How, did he have any reply?
No, he just said that you're going to be heavyweight champ, you know what I mean? That's what he said.
Horse racing struggled back in Britain today after a cruel month. It happened at Catterick, though it won't happen anywhere tomorrow. The bookies loved the restart today and the prices, and the fact that 3 amateur riders upset the odds.
The sound of thundering hooves on turf has not been heard in Britain for exactly a month. So it was little surprise that the race-starved punters turned out in force at the small North Yorkshire track of Catterick. The bookies did a roaring trade all over the country, and they were especially happy after the hot favourite in the first race was beaten by 13-2 shot Stars Delight. But how was it while the rest of the country's racetracks are still frozen, they were able to race at Catterick today?
And we only have about 6 or 7 inches of topsoil, and then you're onto the gravel. So the 6 or 7 inches were frozen, but no more than that.
It was noticeable that a number of jockeys were carrying a few pounds overweight after their enforced holiday. But former champion John Joe O'Neill was certainly happy to be back racing.
Well, it's great to be back, Derek. You know, after such a long layoff, you got a bit itchy feet and really look forward to getting back. It's great to be back.
Prince Andrew found himself at a surprise royal premiere today when he said goodbye to his shipmates after 2 years on HMS Brazen. Behind the scenes, the crew had prepared a bit of a send-off. The first the Prince knew about it was when a chorus line emerged from the ship's hangar, dancing to the tune of 42nd Street. They call themselves the Brazen Follies, and they didn't sing the other number, Shuffle Off to Buffalo. The main news again, 80 Labour councillors in Liverpool and Lambeth have lost their appeals against paying surcharges and being disqualified for 5 years for failing to set a rate.
Finally, again something new out of Africa, a rhino, a rare white rhino, which has settled down as a house pet. The youngster was abandoned by his mother and adopted by the Villa family, who have a safari ranch near Bloemfontein. They call him Hero.
The experts say rhinos are short-sighted, bad-tempered, and extremely aggressive. But as with most species, life's nastier characteristics are lacking in the very young. And Hero, just 2 months old and weighing 300 pounds, doesn't know the meaning of a temper tantrum, which is just as well for 9-year-old Charlie. Hero knocks back 28 pints of milk a day. And to answer the question you wouldn't want to even think about, yes, he is house-trained. The only prehistoric pet who knows when to say, "Let me out." A little accident with Hero involves a shovel, a mop, and a hose. And at the end of the day, a stroll round the ranch adds a completely new dimension to the word walkies. Peter Sharp, News at 10 in the Orange Free State.
And that's it tonight. Good night.
After the Thames News headlines, we continue our film, The French Connection.
Good morning.
Virgin Atlantic doesn't have actresses.
Next.
Or models.
Excuse me, stewardess. Next.
Or bullies.
Sit up. Table up. Belt tight. Next.
We just have stewardesses who want to be stewardesses, and the lowest fully inclusive fares to New York and now Miami. Virgin Atlantic. We cut fares, not corners.
When you're Britain's favourite car, it's inevitable that you'll attract a few challengers. A fact that's not escaped the Ford Escort. So to make sure it stays ahead of the game in 1986, it's introducing a few changes. The dashboard and interior have been completely transformed. There's a new sound system. The doors have Chubb-high security locks. The new wheels have optional anti-lock brakes, specially developed for front-wheel drive cars. There are new lights, new bumpers. And under the bonnet, there's another first. A new 1.4-litre lean-burn engine, which gives a class-beating combination of performance and economy. Well, that seems to have done the trick. So there it is, your new Ford Escort. Well, you don't stay ahead by standing still.
Oh, the problems of getting a nappy to fit. That's why Podus invented the Superfit band. Now you can adjust the tapes time after time after time till the fit is as perfect as can be. For as everyone knows, the better the nappy fits, the less it leaks. Notice that baby slips are rather figure-hugging too. Podus baby slips keep a baby drier longer.
Good evening. A boy of 16 is seriously ill after being stabbed as rival football supporters fought a running battle outside Plaistow tube station tonight. Eddie Collins from Harlesden was stabbed in the chest. Another fan was slashed across the face and 2 other people were injured. It happened before the West Ham-Manchester United game. Police are appealing for witnesses. A group of mothers are celebrating victory in a 7-year fight to improve conditions on their estate, a battle which today led them to abandon their children at a council office in protest. The women claimed lives were at risk on the Swanmead estate in Bermondsey because of continual water problems. In the latest case, they've been cut off for a month. Tonight they were reunited with the children after Southwark Council promised to cure the faults permanently. A London magistrate has put a young heroin addict under house curfew in an attempt to save her life. In court, it was claimed that Shirley Moore, who's 19, was slowly killing herself and had turned to prostitution. Now she'll have to spend her nights at her father's home in Roehampton and seek hospital treatment. Councillors at Kensington and Chelsea have agreed a huge rate cut of 30%. They're also promising a rates freeze next year. For the average household, it'll mean a cut of about £230 a year. Commercial rates are being reduced as well by 26.5%. Detectives are hunting a man who raped a young woman in Maida Vale today. She was grabbed at a bus stop and dragged to the basement of a tower block in Lanark Road. In Reading, police have warned children to be careful after a 13-year-old paperboy was sexually assaulted on his round. A man forced him into bushes near Oakland's flats at Early. The attacker escaped down Hamilton Road. He wore a black jacket. Councillors claim 450 jobs are in jeopardy in Haringey because the Environment Secretary has ordered the closure of the council's direct labour organisation. He's been told it's lost £5.5 million over 3 years. British Rail have unveiled details for a £100 million redevelopment around Charing Cross Station. It'll involve creating almost 2.5 million square feet of office space centred on the station. And of course, tonight's main news, 32 councillors in Lambeth face financial ruin after losing an appeal against surcharges imposed because they delayed setting a rate. They'll have to foot a bill of almost £106,000 and they'll be disqualified from office for 5 years. Tonight, union leaders warned that if the Conservatives take power, they'll do everything they can to stop cuts in jobs and services. And Thames weather. Tonight, dry and clear and cold. Tomorrow, a sunny start, but some showers later. The high 10 degrees Celsius, that's 50 degrees Fahrenheit.